Welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the craziest and weirdest stories from human history. Today, we'll be taking a look at the life of Coco Chanel, a woman born into the darkest pit of poverty who clawed her way out and created an empire that would change fashion forever. Chapter 1. From Orphanage to Seamstress. Gabrielle Bornère de Chanel, or Coco Chanel as she would come to be known, was born in 1883 in a small town called Saumur in France. Her parents were not married and her father abandoned her mother before she was born, leaving them penniless and alone. Chanel's early life was marked by extreme poverty and tragedy. Her mother died when she was just 12 years old, and she was forced to live in an orphanage run by strict Catholic nuns. It was here that she learned the basics of sewing, a skill that would later become the foundation of her fortune. As a teenager, Chanel left the orphanage and moved to a larger city where she got a job as a seamstress. She saved up enough money to buy her freedom from her exploitative landlady and rented a small apartment with a friend. Around this time, she took on a second job as a cabaret singer, performing in smoky, dimly lit clubs and singing popular songs of the day. That was where she picked up the nickname Coco, perhaps from the song Qu'avez-vous, Coco, that she used to perform. Or maybe, as some have speculated, her nickname came from the French expression comme un coco, meaning like a guy, because she dated men twice her age for money. Whatever the reason, the name stuck, and soon it would become synonymous with one of the most recognizable brands in the world. Chapter 2. The invention of a new style. In 1909, Gabrielle met a wealthy man named Etienne Belson, who was captivated by her unique charm and beauty. They began a romantic relationship, and he lavished her with expensive gifts and introduced her to the world of the Parisian elite. It was through Belson that Chanel was exposed to the world of high fashion. But instead of being impressed by the extravagant gowns and elaborate hats, she was horrified. She thought they were both impractical and uncomfortable. She noticed that the women of the upper class spent more time thinking about their appearance than actually living their lives. And she vowed to change that. With Balson's financial support, Chanel opened her first millinery shop in Paris. Her hats were a hit with customers because they were so different from what else was available. She used simple, high-quality materials like felt and wool, and designed hats that were comfortable and practical. For example, she introduced the Breton cap, a stylish yet comfortable alternative to the traditional sailor hat. But Chanel wasn't satisfied with just making hats. She wanted to create an entire wardrobe for the modern woman. She started designing simple, elegant dresses made from jersey fabric, a material usually associated with men's clothing. These designs were a radical departure from the fussy, impractical clothing worn by women of the time. They were easy to wear, easy to care for, and looked sophisticated. She opened her first boutique on the Rue Cambon in Paris in 1910. Although the location was not ideal, it soon became a favorite spot for fashionable women. Her designs were perfect for the independent, active woman who didn't want to be weighed down by layers of fabric and fussy details. But Chanel didn't just understand women. She knew what men liked as well. Her designs were appreciated by men for their simplicity and elegance. It was as if she had unlocked a secret code to timeless style that transcended fleeting trends. Soon, women of the upper class were flocking to her boutiques, eager to get their hands on the latest Chanel creation. Chapter 3. The birth of a brand. While her clothing line was successful, Chanel wanted more. She began branching out into other areas of fashion accessories, including shoes, handbags, and costume jewelry. She believed that these items should complement her clothing, not compete with it. Each piece was designed to be versatile and could be worn with multiple outfits. For example, her interlocking C necklace can be worn as a pendant or a brooch. This attention to detail and versatility set her apart from her competitors and contributed to the success of her brand. But it was her foray into the world of fragrance that truly cemented her status as a fashion icon. In 1921, she launched Chanel No. 5, a perfume that was unlike any other on the market. Most perfumes at the time were floral or fruity, but Chanel No. 5 was more abstract and complex. It was the first perfume to use aldehydes, which gave it a unique, almost soapy scent. It was also the first perfume to be marketed to women as an individual rather than a wife or a mother. The bottle was as innovative as the scent itself. Instead of the ornate crystal bottles that were typical of the time, Chanel No. 5 came in a simple rectangular bottle made from clear glass. It was a bold statement that set it apart from the competition and made it instantly recognizable. The success of Chanel No. 5 was unprecedented. It sold out immediately and became one of the best-selling perfumes of all time. By the end of the 1920s, Chanel had become a global brand, and Gabrielle Chanel was one of the richest women in the world. She owned several boutiques throughout Europe, and had expanded her product line to include cosmetics, watches, and even cigarettes. It seemed as though she could do no wrong. She had everything money could buy, yet she remained unsatisfied. Chapter 4: The War and the Rivalry. World War II broke out in 1939, and France fell to the Nazis 2 years later. During the German occupation of Paris, Chanel met a German officer who became her lover. Rumors spread that she was a Nazi spy, which was never proven. Nevertheless, it damaged her reputation. After the war ended, she was placed on a list of people who were banned from entering Britain, preventing her from reopening her businesses in London. In 1954, at the age of 71, she returned to Paris and unveiled her new collection. Her designs were a reaction to the exaggerated, overly feminine styles that had become popular since her departure. She called her collection the New Look. It was a critical and commercial success, and she became a fashion icon once again. But her greatest rival, Christian Dior, would soon emerge. He shocked the fashion world with his New Look collection, which featured tight waists and full skirts. It was a stark contrast to Chanel's designs, and it was an instant hit. The media loved it, and Dior quickly became the toast of Paris. Determined not to be outdone, Chanel went back to the drawing board. She created a new version of her classic little black dress, which became known as La Nuesse dress after actress Audrey Hepburn wore it in the movie Funny Face. It was an immediate success and helped to solidify Chanel's status as a fashion icon. Chapter 5: A Lasting Legacy of Liberation and Luxury. Coco Chanel died in 1971, but her legacy lives on. The Chanel brand is still one of the most recognizable and valuable fashion brands in the world. Her designs continue to inspire designers, and her perfume remains one of the best-selling fragrances of all time. More than just a fashion designer, Chanel was a pioneer for women's rights. She gave women the freedom to express themselves through their clothing and showed them that they could be both stylish and comfortable. Her designs were a symbol of female empowerment and independence, and they continue to be relevant today. Looking back on her life, it is hard to believe that she went from being a penniless orphan to becoming one of the most successful fashion designers of all time. Her story is a testament to the power of hard work, determination, and a refusal to give up in the face of adversity. It's a reminder that no matter where you start in life, you can achieve anything if you set your mind to it. Her impact on the fashion world is undeniable. She changed the way women dress and the way they see themselves. She showed them that they don't need to be slaves to fashion. and that they can be comfortable and stylish at the same time. She also proved that a woman can be successful in a male-dominated industry, and that she doesn't need a man to validate her success. So next time you put on that little black dress or spray on some Chanel No. 5, remember the woman who made it all possible. Remember Coco Chanel, the girl who grew up in poverty but became a legend. Thank you all for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Which era of finance story in history would you like to see us cover next? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. I would also like you to subscribe for more videos.